Hello everybody, this is Tracy Markley from Tracy's Personal Training Pilates Yoga Studio in Oregon. And I wanted to share a few things with you guys. Most of you guys know me from working with stroke survivors and my books on stroke recovery and fall prevention and some of my videos on YouTube. And also I run one of those stroke recovery support groups on Facebook. It has about over 3,100 people in it now, which is a lot of people, but my group is actually smaller than a lot of them. So anyway, there's groups out there with over 10,000 in it. So there's several thousand stroke survivors looking for more help to continue their recovery. And those that have worked with me or known me or heard of me or read my stuff know where I come from. But I'll introduce myself a little bit again. When I wrote my first book about my journey with the stroke survivor trainings, I'm a fitness trainer. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm a college certified fitness trainer with a bunch of advanced certifications on body mechanics and working with neurological and all the things that we face as trainers. When people come into us, most clients have something going on. We have a small percent of people have nothing going on, and they're free to do anything we can do with them safely, of course. But 80% of the clients, probably even more than 80%, they have knee injuries, arthritis, lupus, MS, they've had strokes, neuro issues, maybe a bad accident, back pain, scoliosis, osteoporosis, the list goes on. So I purposely studied deeper into all those different dynamics because I didn't feel I can train somebody with those situations unless I learned more about them. And then I learn more as I work with people all these years. I've been doing it for over 20 years. So what I want to share today is since the coronavirus has been out and my studio has so far been closed, going on 8 weeks, I think next week is starting 8 weeks. I started doing some of my clients via Zoom. And I have a few group sessions I've been doing with people. And I've started introducing some people who are stroke survivors who have joined. I've had a few people join who do not live in my state. And she's been really working hard to try to share with you guys what I do. And I've been getting a lot of messages via Facebook and comments on Facebook asking more about what I do. So I'm going to share right now what I do. And as I said in the beginning, I have books, I have videos, and I push knowledge. So no matter who I'm training, whether they are stroke survivor, an older person looking for fall prevention, to stabilize their core, for stability in walking, sports, if it's a young kid in school looking to play stronger in sports, or someone in their 30s or 40s wanting to be better at tennis or sports, whatever they're doing, it starts with the center of the body being strong. So no matter who you are, I will train you from the inside out. Like when a baby learns to develop, they don't just start walking on their feet and moving their arms and moving. The center of their body, their core gets strong. They roll around, they sit up, they fall over, and the center of the body gets strong enough for them to sit and crawl. And then when they start standing, they have to build their core to stand tall before they can start kicking and dancing and playing with toys. Because if they start reaching for toys before the center of the body has any stability to the structure to stabilize them, they're going to fall over every time they reach out. Okay, so for those who have not watched my videos and learned the muscles, this video most of my videos are a little long, but sometimes you have to learn and listen and spend more time listening to learn. So those who don't want to listen to a long video, just try to hang on through it because you may learn something very valuable for you. Okay. So what I teach and believe in and have been trained in is, so this is your body. The core is your glute and this area in here, this whole structure. The core isn't just the tummy and the six-pack muscles. This whole center, the whole trunk of the body is the core. This muscle right here is the multifidus muscle. And the brain sends a message to this muscle, stabilize the body, the limbs are going to move. And this muscle works with two other muscles in the body. Some studies show four muscles, but This muscle is on the same neuromuscular loop with these other muscles, meaning they all have to be strong in order for this one to be strong enough to serve its purpose of stabilizing the body. And if you've had some neurological issues, or you've had a stroke, you're a senior or an older person who you don't have your stability and balance anymore, you have to retrain the brain to go brain, stabilize, limbs. And if this center of the body is weak, it's like hitting a roadblock. Your brain's trying to send a message, stabilize the body. I want to move the arms, or I want to move the leg for walking. And it hits a roadblock, and this can't, your arms and leg on the affected side of your stroke, or if you're a senior and you're trying to work on your balance and proprioception where your feet are in space, you have to get the center of the body strong. So yes, it's the core, but I believe the word core has become so cliche that it hasn't truly been taught of how strong and important that structure really is. And so, I don't know if you can see this picture up here. Here is another, here's this showing just the deep core too. So I've talked about the psoas muscle. That's the muscle in here. It's a deep muscle. I will show that right here. This is your psoas muscle. That's your low spine. The psoas muscle comes down around the bottom 5 lumbar vertebrae, 4 of the 5 lumbar vertebrae, crosses over the midline through the hips, and attaches at your thigh bone, the front of your leg. So that means this muscle goes from your back through here, the front of your hip bone, and attaches to your thigh. That muscle has to do with this movement, some of the rotation, and stabilizing for walking. So, brought that up just to show you because it's centered in the core of the body. You have, stay with me now if you want to really understand how I work with people and what can help you get stronger in your recovery. This little muscle right here, like I said, some of you guys know this, you've known it from somebody else, if you learned from me before, your transverse abdominal muscle. This muscle wraps around your whole body like you're wearing a tight girdle. This is underneath your obliques, which is your side abs, and that six-pack muscle. So you take those off, and this is underneath. This muscle has to be strong to help hold your body upright. This muscle is on the same neuromuscular loop as this muscle I shared with you. So this muscle has to become strong in order for this to become strong, which also means in order for the body to go back to the regular message here, stabilize, move, you have to get the center of the body strong. And you won't get this strength by just sitting on the floor doing little leg lifts for your tummy or little crunches. In fact, many stroke survivors and seniors can't get to the floor and do that. They're weak, they're scared, they don't have the strength to get up and down, they don't have the stabilization. So you're not going to get there anyway. Some people do them on their beds, but that's still not going to give you the strength of standing upright and getting that core strengthened for stability. So I work with building that. So if you train with me, and I'm not trying to give you guys a sales pitch. I don't like selling myself on people, but I've been asked by several people about how I work with people. So I'm going to share this in my stroke support group that I have on Facebook. Any of you guys feel free to share it somewhere else. If I share it, it looks like I'm scamming someone for business. And that's not really my purpose. Of course, everybody wants more clients in their business and money. That's just a part of life. But I'm here to try to teach you guys. And if I can help you with training via Zoom or via internet, or you just read my books and learn more to help guide you and give you more education, I believe knowledge is power. If you understand that this is important, what I'm showing you with the muscles and your posture and standing up tall, and how this structure, which I just showed you some of those muscles in here, have to be strong to hold you upright, or you're trying to function unfolding over. So there's just pieces of it there. There's more to it, but I'm just giving you parts of it so it makes sense. When it comes to the psoas, that muscle is huge for working your body. If you're sitting down, this is bent. If you're sitting sloped down in poor posture all the time, that's even worse. And then when you stand up to walk, you're not standing up straight to take your walking. You're kind of staying in this movement to walk, or you're staying here to walk. You're not building your core up to get this strong, so all the structure and the stability of your hips and pelvic can hold you strong, so then your leg and the movements you're trying to come back on your feet and legs have more of a chance to come back, because the structures and the muscles like the core and the psoas and other muscles I'm not even mentioning have a job to do. And this is actually the muscles on the cover of my last book about arm movement. This is the surface muscle. So I just showed you a bunch of inside muscles, but you have the gluteus, the lats, traps, and there's some of the muscles of the arms. There's a lot of muscles in the center of the body, deep and surface. When they come back and keep your structure stronger so the arms can be in movement, because remember, if you're here, your arm's not going to lift well. If you're here, it has a chance to lift well. So if you train with me in person, if you train with me via Zoom, if you're able to train via internet, you have to make sure you're safe to train that way with me. You're in a position where you can be safe. That's where I do. I train you from there, inside out. But we try to work the whole body. We still try to work the biceps and the triceps. If you can hold a weight, we'll do weights. It depends on what you can do. Right now, when I'm in a group of people, whether it's online or in person when I'm in my group, there's the basics that we all kind of do, but everyone has to do their own version or their way of doing it. Some people may need to sit, some may need to stand. Like, for instance, some people can't do some of the crunches on the ball or some of the things we do of floor work. So I show them something to do standing or sitting for certain ab works as well. But I use balance discs, balance pads, Bosu balls, standing up. If you need your body to stand up to be strong to move, then you have to work at standing up to gain the standing up cognitive skills and the brain communicating for the pathways and the muscles needed. So one more thing I'm going to show you with the muscles real quick is right here. This is, and I've shared this in other videos. This is right here, your inner thigh. These muscles hold that leg in. So if you're having issues of this foot dragging and you can't really take your steps well, first you have to get this upright to keep you. And then this can follow too. But when you're working on Bosu balls, balance discs, balance pads, these muscles that hold your femur, which is your leg, in straight, need to be strong. So you can be doing squats, you can be doing lunges and just like the typical things you see in places, but you're not isolating these. You're not isolating those muscles that hold here. When you're standing on balance things, holding on and working, they're working this muscle staying in, plus other exercises I teach too. A lot of them in my videos, most of them are in the books, not everything, because some things you have to teach individually. You have to teach where your recovery is at, and you may need to do certain exercises specifically for your leg that maybe the survivor that works over here doesn't, because they didn't lose the strength in that part. It's kind of watching, learning, and seeing what you need specifically. So, and this book is coming out soon. I'm working on it now. It's stroke recovery, leg stability, and walking gait. We go over a lot of the muscles, the core stuff too, and the muscles that work with the legs. So that's what you do if you train with me, in person or via internet. So while we're on the internet, working together on Zoom, working through our living rooms or where you're set up at home, garage, so people have their stuff in their bedroom, some are in their office, depends. Right now, I'm set up in my living room because my camera on my PC computer works way better than my laptop. So I do my training while I'm in my living room. But my studio is also here. And I have Bosu balls, the big balls you can sit on, the little balls. I have the bars, I have pads, weights, bands. I have everything. Anyone in my classes or doing private with me, I may have them order and get stuff so they can work together with the group or with me in private more. But everyone's kind of using what they got. So if you have a band, if you have weights, if you have a balance pad, you need a chair. I would really like the people who have a harder time standing, who's working on, stability, to get a bar on their wall to work with us. One of the girls now has a bar on the wall, and it helps me feel like she's safer working out with us. Plus, she can get more done. If you have something to hold on to that's safer besides just a countertop, you have something to grip, a bar, something you get safe and teach quicker reaction time from grabbing, you're going to get better results and feel safer doing it. Therefore, you can probably end up doing more. Okay, so if you can't train with me, but you want to learn about my books, I have 5 of them. 6, one I redid with a new name. My most recent one is Stroke Recovery, Regaining Arm Movement. And it has a lot of exercises. It has a lot of the muscles I just showed you. Every one of my books has a chapter on muscles and knowledge, so it will make sense why you're doing certain movements. Why, for instance, this book, you need to get your shoulder blades moving and the muscles attached to your shoulder blades moving in order for arm movement to come back. If your shoulder blades are stuck, you're not going to get your arm lifting. You have to start deep in the muscles around your shoulder blades, and that's in here. You work with me, I try to teach you that too. All my books are not really big, easy to the point to read, and usually in larger print. So you got that book. The other one with the legs coming out soon. Dear Stroke, You Suck is the journey of a fitness trainer and stroke survivor. It was me and a 68-year-old stroke survivor I worked with for 3 years. He wanted his story shared. It also has muscles and anatomy. Each newer book has more muscles and anatomy in it. So he wanted his story shared. It's an inspiring story. And stroke survivors go through a lot of things. And he wanted his journey to help other people. And that ended up being my first book I ever wrote. And then in my other book, Tipping Towards Balance, A Fitness Trainer's Guide to Stability and Walking. This is a fall prevention book. Also has exercises and muscles in it, written in bigger print. And I did this one after people read the other book with my client Gary in it and wanted a little more. And I was getting older clients coming to me and telling me that they aren't hiking in our town anymore, because I live in town by the forest and there's a lot of nice hikes, but there's roots on the ground. They were tripping on the tree roots because they're losing their awareness where the feet are in space, meaning when they're taking a step, when they go to step over something, they're not clearing the height and how far to step down. And that's a cognitive skills that needs to be rebuilt. And a lot of seniors that are losing their balance and their spatial awareness. Plus, it's also what a lot of stroke survivors need to regain back. So that book has that in there, but that's also in other books too. Stroke Recovery What Now? When physical therapy ends, but your recovery continues. That covers a lot of stuff. A lot of things are in here. But since this book, I've had people ask me, do you have a book just on the arm? That's why I wrote the arm book. So this has some things on the balance, on the posture, on the core, on the leg, on the hand, but not as many details of the hand in here. I didn't know that was so needed. I thought physical therapy was covering a lot of it. And as time went on, after this book came out a few years ago, I realized people needed more help. So I ended up just recently doing that book because I was asked to do it by some survivors. And then I also did the book, The Power of Your Spine, at all anatomy, posture, muscles in your posture. All these books are good for fitness professionals, physical therapists to learn more. I think my camera just went like that. And yeah, and to help survivors. And my thing's ready to fall over. Let's stick this over here. We're going crooked there. There you go. I put all my books on my stand and I went like that. Anyway, so I'm sorry this video is so long. I shouldn't apologize for that. If you want to learn from people, you just have to listen. You have to learn. I know when I made a course for the fitness industry, stroke recovery and exercise. It's a CEC course to help fitness people learn how to work with stroke survivors more. It has a lot of videos in it because people were requesting to make a bunch of short videos instead of one long video, because they said people's attention span doesn't want to listen to more than that. But me personally, I'd rather watch one 20-minute video and then 6 3.5-minute videos and having to go set it all the time, especially when I'm trying to learn something. So anyway, but I did this specifically to just share with those who are asking me more about training with me and working with me. If I would like to talk to you first and see where you're at, where your safety is working with someone not right next to you. And then I may have you say, yes, you're good to be in the group class. I may say, I think you need to work with me a couple times in private first. It's all going to depend on you. But the answer to the questions of how do I do my work with people, what do? I try to work full body, however your body can get there. But everybody has to work with strengthening that core. That center of the body, the trunk of the body, like the trunk of the tree, has to be strong. If the tree trunk on an apple tree is hollow and weak, it grows a bunch of apples, it's going to fall over. Or it won't even be healthy or strong enough to get the apple, the branches to reach out with nourishment to strengthen the branches to have apples growing strong enough to be that many on there. So strong tree trunk, stronger tree branches. When the apples grow, they're stronger, they're bigger, and it doesn't knock the tree over. So that's kind of how I work with the body. Build from the inside out. If the brain says, brain, stabilize, move the limbs, you want to build that way. You want to retrain the pattern of balance, the pattern of your body communication, the natural pattern of the pathways going. And your body's trying to make new pathways. It's going to try to do the natural. Not going to go head, move the pinky. It's going to move through the natural communications the body does, which I was taught through the science of the body, biomechanics of the body. And for all these years that I've been doing it, I see it working. I'm not going to say every single person gets 100% better with everything they do, but I have had several stroke survivors told they'll never move the arm, they'll never move the fingers, they'll never stand, they'll never walk again, but then they do. I've never had any client be told they never will, and then they actually never will. But I know there are cases where that happens. I just haven't worked with them. Or maybe what I do helps them out of that mode, or there's a balance of them both. It depends on the brain and your stroke. So anyway, again, this is Tracy from Tracy's Personal Training, Pilates and Yoga. I'm in Oregon, sharing this about training, sharing this about my books. My books are on Amazon. My books are at my website. Learning about my training are on my website, or you can send me a message here. It's just some people's private messages are getting lost. I'm getting messages that came in a month ago that were blocked by Facebook, and I didn't get them. So if you want to get hold of me, I would say either go to my website, call me, go to my website, send a comment through the comment page of, or not the comment, contact Tracy page, go to contact, write me, it will come to my email. Otherwise, a lot of emails get put in spam. I don't get them, so I don't share my email address online. Once we know each other and have email addresses and we communicate, that works. But I don't share it all over Facebook because everything will go to spam or mixed up, and I'll get people's messages lost. So www.tracyspersonaltraining.com. Everything will be written in what I write in Facebook around this video. So it's www.tracys and then personaltraining.com. It will be up above the video where I write stuff. And there's also be the Amazon link. And you can ask questions and comments, but sometimes I don't see them all, or they get lost, or people make all these other comments and it takes away from what somebody's asking. That's why I made this video too. Sometimes people will ask something on Facebook somewhere directly to somebody, and then you get all these other messages of people giving you opinions or directing you off someplace else, and you're not getting what you asked right there. So if you want questions from me directly and I'm not getting your Facebook message through Messenger, send me a message to the contact, but make sure your email is clear in the contact and watch for my message coming back. I've had people tell me they've sent me messages there, they didn't get an email back, and I've emailed them 4 times and they didn't look for it. So I will write in the subject line of an email I send back to you, from Tracy's Personal Training, Tracy from Tracy's Personal Training. So you should be able to see that's me. So check your spam if you send me a message, check your emails. some people tell me, they message me, oh, but I don't check my emails. Like, well, you're not going to get my email if you don't check your emails. So you have to work with me if you're trying to hear back from me. I hope my books help you. I hope my videos help you. I would love to work with anyone in person that we're capable of working through however we can do it. I wish you guys to get through all this virus going on. I think a lot of cities are opening back up. Mine's kind of starting, but my gut says don't do it yet, so I'm still waiting longer. Plus, I can't keep my clients 6 feet apart, so I'm still working through all the changes because things are changing. So anyway, this is going on a 25-minute video, not what I meant to do, but hopefully if it was too long for you, you don't leave me some nasty comment in the comments, because I've gotten those too. And I mean well, my heart's here, my education's here, my knowledge is here, my work is here to help you guys any way I can. Be kind to each other, be kind to yourself, be kind to me, be kind to people helping everybody, and reach out if you want to work with me. Okay, have a great day. Bye.